was the most pathetic attention-seeking behavior you've ever witnessed? Story 1. My mom has custody of my sister's daughters because my sister abandoned them. My sister doesn't ask about them. Don't try to visit them. Don't call them. Surprisingly, my mom got a call from my sister on the oldest daughter's 5th birthday. Unfortunately, it wasn't to wish her happy birthday. It was to announce that she had the terrible disease at stage 4, which was upsetting obviously. Only, my sister didn't act sick. She acted excited about all the concern. She never went to the doctor. And people started to catch on. About a year later, after people started calling her out on her inconsistencies, she put on her Facebook that she had been feeling sick all week. She puked twice that morning and went to the hospital. And the doctor declared her terrible disease to be gone. She puked her disease up, of course. Some idiot commented on her status congratulating her for being free of that disease. My comment was deleted though. Something to the effect of, "Really? You effing puked up your disease? Why on earth would you take attention away from your daughter's birthday with this sly opinion? Faking such an awful disease to outshine the daughter she abandoned. Shameless." Story 2. My best friend was in a train wreck of a relationship with a woman who had some serious issues due to a former partner's infidelity. When he finally broke up with her, she would text him endlessly about how she was going to end herself. I wouldn't normally recommend this tactic, but he just ignored her and eventually the text stopped. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks after she seemed to have accepted that it was really over, a mysterious fire started in her condo, leaving her without a place to live. And despite being insanely wealthy, she really felt like the best place for her and her dog would be my friend's tiny apartment. They just needed something familiar after the trauma. He wisely refused. You will never ever convince me she didn't start that fire herself. Opinion. This is actually terrifying. Imagine what else she could have done if she was actually capable of setting her own house on fire. Story 3. I know a woman in her late 30s who vague books like a middle school student all the effing time. Posts like, "This day has been the worst. Remind me never to trust you again. Who the F is that about? And who the F cares?" Opinion. While I agree that her behavior is annoying, I never understood people who follow someone they hate. If her childish behavior bothers you that much, then why do you willingly put up with it? Story 4. Classmate. My Nigerian boyfriend committed self-deletion after his parents rejected me for being white. My life is the worst. Everyone believes that story and starts gathering around her like a flock of hens at feeding time. Find out not long ago, the Nigerian fella is very much alive. Was only ever an acquaintance and they went out for a drink once. And only once. He's in a different program at our university but avoids her like the plague now. Opinion. Was he a prince? Story 5. My sister is mentally disabled. At the age of 22, she has the cognitive function of an 11 or 12-year-old. She has a severe fear of missing out. I don't know where it comes from, but she gets serious anxiety about being left out of various events. Even though we make a special effort to include her in most things, she goes to a school aimed to teach adults with special needs different life skills. If she knows I'm coming into town to visit my parents, or I have something planned with them, she will fake illnesses at school so my parents have to pick her up. It's super annoying because it means that we all have to cancel our plans. And she's always faking it. As soon as she comes back home, she's perfectly fine. But my parents and my sister's teachers caught on to her BS. After several incidences of faking sickness, they stopped indulging her and stopped calling my parents. My sister realized she needed to up her game. After watching 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, My sister found out that claiming to be wanting to end yourself was a foolproof way to get the attention back on her. One day at school, she tried to fake sleep again. Her teachers weren't falling for it. So she got her hands on a phone in the school's office and dialed 911, threatening to hurt herself. An ambulance came and took my sister to the hospital. She ended up getting herself stuck in a psych ward for over a few weeks. She learned her lesson and never played that game again. Opinion. No one will ever convince me that show needed to be made or had overall net positive effects on society. Story 6. One of my friends used to take selfies while crying in public and post them on Facebook, talking about how lonely she was. Opinion. Never trust someone who sets up a camera, cries while recording or taking selfies, and then purposefully posts it online. It's an unbelievably manipulative tactic. Story 7. In high school, a group of us were at Walmart. A friend got down on all fours and was crawling around and meowing at strangers. She even rubbed up on a dude. Opinion. I bet this memory still keeps her awake at night to this day. Story 8. My ex was a hypochondriac and addicted to going to the hospital. She would pick symptoms of conditions that my close family members were affected by to try and make me feel that much more sorry for her. One time she called me crying, saying the doctor said she was pre-diabetic because my father was diabetic. So I rushed to see her and she acted like nothing happened. Then I brought it up a few days later and she said, "Oh, haha, I just drank a Coke before having my blood drawn. It must have messed up the test. Hee hee." Opinion. That's so effing annoying. Story 9. This one girl I know constantly posts on social media about her pathetic drama and life. CPS took her kids, and when she was, quote unquote, fighting to get him back, she was posting public pictures of her using illegal substances with her ex-offender boyfriend. She then cried and moaned because her CPS caseworker saw the pictures and made a ton of poor me posts about how her life isn't fair. Literally the only reason people follow her is because she is such a mess. Opinion. I am glad CPS saw it. Those kids have a chance now. Story 10. An ex-friend of mine used to threaten self-deletion. I'd lost track of him after high school. Then we reconnected. We're both musicians, so we would play out together at pubs. It was fun until I discovered that he had multiple restraining orders and a history of hurting women. I immediately ended the friendship and he became a very psycho. He would call and text me all hours of the day and night, threatening to take himself out. I tried to help him at first, but I discovered that it was a 100% ploy. I had an older brother who committed self-deletion, so this hit me hard. Opinion. If he knew about your brother and still tried to pull this off, he was never your friend. What a POS. Story 11. My ex-girlfriend in high school. She talked a lot about her ass adventures. Most of the guys she claims to have slept with either didn't go to our school, and the few that did said it was once only. She would cry and say how each one broke her heart or forced themselves on her. She claimed she was super into women suddenly, and so I asked her out. She would be all over me at school, but outside of school, our relationship was non-existent. When I publicly broke up with her for cheating with a man, she tried to blame me. Our friend had none of it, so she started crying and said she would jump off the school. One of my friends told her to just effing do it. She didn't. She fell off a trampoline and broke her arm. She had surgery to repair the bone, which left a long scar along both sides of her forearm. She told a lot of people she had tried to commit self-deletion. The pity party ended when the friend who owned the trampoline called her out. I was rather gothy in high school. One day I start hearing all these weird rumors that my ex was copying me. I shrugged it off because, F her. Until I heard her voice saying, I told you not to call me real name. I'm going by name now. Except her new name was my nickname. I come around the corner and it was like she had shopped my closet and taken a picture of my hair to a salon. I gave her a slow once over and promptly burst out laughing. Cue crying and her trying to guilt trip me for a week. And the cherry on top? She started to smell bad, like you knew when she entered the room, because of a miasma of pee and sweat followed her. Her hair was matted and dirty. She claimed her mom hadn't paid their utilities, and she had no water, and her cat was peeing on her clothes. A few of us felt bad and showed up at her apartment when she wasn't home. It was just her and her mom to gather her laundry and wash it for her. A friend was going to even let my ex shower at her place. Her mom let us in and said, I want you girls to see what's actually happening. Bewildered, we took a tour of their place. Ex-girlfriend had taken all the furniture out of her bedroom, save a bare mattress, and thrown it into the living room. She had carved F you, Mom, into the wood of her bed frame. In her bathroom, which had water, was a pile of clothes in the tub. They smelled like pee. We were appalled. The real shocker? They did not own a cat. Opinion. Oh my god, this was a roller coaster from start to finish. Story 12. The most hated girlfriend out of my group of friends was upset that no one noticed her new haircut at my friend's going away to the military party. So what did she do? She got a hold of the pizza we had ordered. We were all outside and threw it in the pool, then went home. We were broke recent high school graduates who poured all of the money we had into that pizza just to watch it fall apart in a pool. Opinion. I hope she got kicked out of the group for this. Story 13. My little cousin would come into the bathroom, sit down, and look in the mirror only to start talking about how cute she was, asking me, isn't this selfie cute? I will agree and she will say, I know, right? How good she is at doing her hair. How everybody thinks she is mixed. Asking me if I think she's skinny, just fishing for compliments on a daily and talking about her appearance. I want my cousin to actually realize her being like that lets people know how insecure she actually is. It's sickening and so annoying. Opinion. She is heading toward disappointment and depression if she keeps relying on others' validation. I would try to help her realize that self-worth isn't based on compliments or appearance. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to receive notifications to my latest videos.